Hello and welcome to JROCK's Review Show, Episode 1, Part 2. We're continuing our episode on the latest Alice Cooper CD. And of course, I'm talking about The Revenge of Alice Cooper. Now, last time we talked about the packaging and what a beautiful album cover it is. You know, it goes back to the classic 1930 monster kind of horror movie posters look. Great album cover. We talked all about that in part 1. Part 2, we're going to talk about some of the songs. And I will tell you that this album is it's a killer, classic sounding Alice Cooper album, of course. And that's no surprise because besides featuring the vocals of the legendary Alice Cooper himself, the rest of the musicians that play on this album are, of course, Michael Bruce, Dennis Dunaway, Neil Smith, and of course, I'm talking about the surviving members of the original Alice Cooper band. This is the first album the band has recorded in, can you believe it? Over 50 years. It's the first new album by the band since Muscle of Love. That was the last album that this band lineup recorded. Of course, Alice, after the release of Muscle of Love, you know, Welcome to My Nightmare was his first true solo album, and Alice has just been on a nonstop solo career ever since. But for whatever reason, he decided to get back together with his original bandmates, Michael Bruce, Neil Smith, and Dennis Dunaway. Now, to say that this is the first time these guys have gone together in years, that's not exactly true. Alice has remained friends with the guys over years. They went off and lived their lives and did their separate things, but that they always remain friends, which I think is just super. They didn't end the Alice Cooper band 50 years ago because, you know, everybody hated each other and all that. A lot of it had to do with the fact that Alice Cooper at the time was, you know, struggling with a real heavy alcohol addiction. But of course, as we all know, since then, Alice has been sober for like the last 30 years. He beat it. And he came out the other side, and now he continues in his personal life to help other people who are struggling with alcoholism and stuff like that. So really, he's come out on the other side now. I've been a longtime Alice Cooper fan, as I shared with you guys. I pretty much like everything Alice Cooper's ever done, but this is a real return to that classic sound. Now, I will tell you, before the album was even released, you know, I believe it came out July 25th of this year. They started releasing some of the singles early. I believe the first single they released off the album was Black Mamba. And I got to tell you, when I first heard the song, I wasn't, it didn't hit me immediately. I wasn't an instant fan of the song, I got to be honest. And I thought, I don't know if I like the sound of this, but I got to tell you, it has become one of my new favorites off the album. I think part of the reason for that is this is one of those songs where the more you hear it, the more it grows on you. And I think after hearing the album as a whole, Black Mamba, like every other song on this album, it's a great album in that there's no filler material on it. These are all killer songs, first of all. And I think once you hear Black Mamba with the rest of these tunes on the album, it just it kicks ass and it all fits together. So overall, it's a great album because there's really there's not even one filler song on here, and I think it's because these guys, even though they have, you know, they've come together and they've appeared on some of Alice's albums over the last couple of years, but this is the first time they've gone together and done a whole complete studio album, just the surviving members of the original Alice Cooper band. And Black Mamba, I got to tell you, it's back to that dark kind of Alice Cooper sound. This could have come off of the Killer album. It just kind of has that heavy vibe. It's kind of really dark Alice, but it's a good Alice. You know, I love when he kind of every once in a while goes and visits the dark Alice sound. That's what this is. Up All Night. Okay, this song I gotta say, from the minute I heard it, I just loved it. It's kind of like it's got a great rock anthem sound to it. Up All Night, it's kind of it doesn't sound nothing like, but it's got that kind of spirit of, say, Rock and Roll All Night and Party Every Day by Kiss, or Nothing But a Good Time by Poison. These are rock anthems that people just love, and it's really a celebration, if you will, of good time rock. Good time music. That's what it is. Up All Night to me is a celebration of good time rock. Okay, so that's what that is. And so again, Up All Night, to me, it sounds kind of like it's got that classic Alice sound, mixed with kind of a modern Alice song as well. I dare say that Up All Night could have probably been on an album like Trash. Trash is a little more radio friendly, poppy, commercial. I think a song like Up All Night would have fit great on an album like Trash, but it also fits here with all these other great new Alice Cooper songs. It's just got that good time music vibe. Now, I got to tell you, one song that I also love from the minute I heard it, and it's quite different from a lot of other stuff on the album, Intergalactic Vagabond Blues. Now, again, this is basically a cool blues jam session. Alice Cooper does the blues. If you can only imagine, he does it the Alice Cooper way. So that's one of those songs I really urge you to check out. It's not necessarily classic Alice. It's kind of a new sound. It's place he's visited maybe once or twice in the past, but I would love to see maybe Alice in the future like do a whole kind of blues infused album like this. I think it would be really, really cool. This song, probably one of my main favorite songs off this album, and it's one of these songs just because you can jam to it. It's just a great blues jam is what I should say. It's another tune where you just listen and it's all about having a good time. Alice does the blues. I don't know what else to say. Another great song. I mean, and I love this song because anytime that you listen to a song, it's really well written. It's catchy. It's got great hooks. That's this song. I mean, before I even heard the song, I'm like, man, just the title of this, it's got to be a great song. Get a load of this. All the crap that gets in the way of your dreams. Now, just going on the title alone, folks, before you even hear the song, how many of us can relate to that in our own personal lives? How many times have you come this close to living out one of your dreams or making something, come true that you really want to achieve? You work hard, and sometimes working hard doesn't always get it. That's kind of a philosophy we wish was true, that if you just worked hard, maybe things will go your way. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But I think just, again, going on the title of the song before you even hear it, the crap that gets in the way of your dreams. How many of us can, relate to that? I think it's a song for everybody is what it is. And here's the thing. It's modern day Alice Cooper sound. It could have been on Trash or Hey Stupid. It's a bit tongue in cheek. It has a bit of a Kinks influence to it, but just an overall great sound. And I think what makes the song stand out is it's not your typical Alice Cooper song. It's a little different. Like, well, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this sounds anything like these songs I'm getting ready to talk about, but I think the reason this song, Vagabond, Intergalactic Vagabond Blues, really stands out is it is so different, not just from everything else on the album, but it's not your typical Alice Cooper. Very much like, I'll talk about some of my favorite Alice songs, like I Love America, let's see, Clones. These are songs, a little more trippy, a little more kind of not necessarily radio friendly, but like Clones is very much like Alice Cooper, maybe trying to go techno or something, or kind of trying to have maybe a dance tune, a dance hit or something like that. That's what was popular at the time when he did Clones. And so again, this song that we're talking about right now, Intergalactic Vagabond Blues. I mean, try to say that 3 times. Again, that's another one of those tongue twister song titles. I just love a title. Just I'm like, when I see that Intergalactic Vega Blues, I'm like, what the hell is that? And I had to hear it. And so again, it's a great title because it kind of gives you an idea of what you're getting ready to listen to. Okay, that must be Alice doing the blues or something, and it's kind of got that real rock and blues vibe. So it's great for that, alone. Another one of my favorite songs off it. I got a lot of favorites, right? I would say, as I shared in the last episode, probably my overall favorite song off this album. There's a lot of them, as I said, but number one has to be "Money Screams." It's just got. I mean, it doesn't sound exactly like it, but the vibe of the song, kind of the root of all evil is money. It kind of reminds me of another great AC/DC song from the 1990s. Ever hear that 3-chord song pattern of "Hey, hey, hey, the money talks"? I'm talking about "Money Talks" by AC/DC. Yes, yes, indeed, folks. And again, like a lot of the songs on this album, famous face against. I'm assuming the famous face that's being talked about is Alice Cooper. A lot of times, especially back in the 1970s, Alice would don on that famous Alice Cooper makeup. Now, again, what's interesting is for anyone that's followed Alice's career, Alice doesn't get all made up like Kiss and cover his face completely in makeup. He usually paint himself up with like eyeshadow, put makeup around his eyes. And again, probably if there had never been an Alice Cooper, there very well might not have been bands, such as Kiss, Motley Crue, I dare say Poison, the New York Dolls, maybe even David Bowie. Remember when David Bowie used to get made up like Ziggy Stardust? Well, if not, I urge you all to go check out YouTube, look up Ziggy Stardust if you don't know what I'm talking about. And David Bowie would dress up like this a space alien back in the 19th. He dubbed the character, if you will, Ziggy Stardust. It's some great, amazing kind of British glam rock, if you will. Go check that out. And again, not necessarily that David Bowie was even an Alice Cooper fan, but Alice was great theatrical rock, especially back in the 1970s. And if you go see Alice Cooper today, he puts on a killer live show. And again, I think I shared with in part one of this episode that just last summer I went to see Alice Cooper at the Orange County Fair, and he killed it. Alice is in his mid 70s, almost 80 years old, and he still is the shock rock king of the world. I mean, if you ever get a chance to see Alice Cooper, I'm going to try to, I live in the Los Angeles area, and I'm going to try my best to go see Alice Cooper. He's on a co-headlining tour with Judas Priest right now, and interestingly enough, the opening band is Corrosion of Conformity, which is like a lot more heavy than even Judas Priest or Alice Cooper, but I think it'll be a fun package. Judas Priest is rumored to be on their farewell tour. We'll see if that plays out or not, but who knows? And again, so this is just an all around great album, The Revenge of Alice Cooper. And believe me, folks, we're only into part 2 of the episode, and we've only scratched the surface. For part 3 next time, we will be talking about some more of the killer songs on this album. I've only, like I said, just discussed like 3 or 4 of these songs so far. And I really think the other songs deserve a mention because this album is just that killer. You need to know about all the songs, and there's some other little surprises and goodies that we haven't even discussed yet. And so I want to be sure to leave some more to talk about. Now, as far as we've been talking about the songs today, and we haven't really had a chance to talk about the complete album yet, but we will get there. As far as the songs, the quality of the songs on the album, I'm going to give that an ultimate score of 25. Okay. Last time when we got together, we talked about the packaging, the album cover. I gave that a 25. So far, the album is ranked a score of 50 in this episode. We're not done yet. And the reason being is if this album only had like, if it only had one killer track, which was the song they released as a single, made a video for, and then you put on the rest of the album and it sucks, and you don't like the rest of the songs, it would not get that high ranking. But because I put this album on and from start to finish, I just loved every song on the album. Like this is ultimate classic Alice Cooper, and it can't be really all that surprised. Getting back to with the surviving members of Alice Cooper Band, Michael Bruce, Neil Smith, and Dennis Dunaway. You can't be that surprised that this is such a killer album. Some of these songs could even appeared on that classic Alice Cooper album, Killer. Now, it's been great talking to you guys. We'll get into this some more next time. Take care, and let me know what you think. If you had a chance to listen to the Revenge of Alice Cooper after you watch this video, I'd love to know what you think of the album. I'd love to hear what you think of some of the songs. If you have a favorite song, okay? So let us know what you think, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for checking this out. I've been your host, Jason JROCK Houston, and I thank you so much for checking out JROCK's Babylon. That's a new channel. You'll be seeing more shows like this. So take care, my friends, and I'll see you all again real soon. Bye for now.